Hey, what is up guys, it is Slikk here. I am back again with another video. In this one, making a video talking about and discussing Nightwing number 10, which is the return of Nightwing to Bludhaven, albeit the long-awaited return of Nightwing to Bludhaven. I was just so giddy and excited just seeing this cover, and I couldn't wait to actually read the issue, which I just have now done. And one of the things that we love about Nightwing is Bludhaven, and in the New 52, he was actually a secret agent working for an organization called Spiral, and not actually, Nightwing as we know him per se, and certainly wasn't operating within Bludhaven. And then Rebirth happened. So Rebirth was gonna happen, and we were all very excited because we knew we didn't really like the secret agent stuff going on in the New 52 from 2011 to 2016. So then Rebirth starts coming along, and we're getting really excited. We're like, yes, this is gonna be return to the roots for Nightwing. And then it comes out, and he's a secret agent again. Okay, now, he wasn't working for Spiral, so in that way he was not, but he was still working undercover with this guy named Raptor, who is sort of like a anti-hero, sort of morally ambiguous, that sort of thing. And this is what I really loved about the first issues of the book, where Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon are working together in the first few issues. What I didn't like about it is that he was a secret agent again. He's just wearing black and blue, sure, but he's not really Nightwing. And that was sort of indicative of how he was acting in the book as well. For instance, in issue number 2, Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon arranged to have a date. And in that issue, towards the end, he actually holds her up, meaning he leaves her out to dry. He never shows up to the date, which again is something that really at the time rubbed me the wrong way about how Dick Grayson had been acting up to that point. Moreover, in issue 3, there was a page in particular that I thought was one of the best pages in a comic book that I have ever read, and really encapsulates the dichotomy and differences between the characters of Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon in really that one page. And in that issue, or in those two pages that I'm talking about, Dick Grayson tells a story about how he grew up poor and he would, quote, permanently borrow, end quote, books from the library. So basically he would steal books from the library. And his favorite one to read was The Merry Adventures of Robin Hood. And Dick asked himself, what if, as Nightwing, at this time he was maybe Robin when he's asking this question to himself, what if we as the Bat family did not fight crime, but we instead fought poverty? What if this happened? What if we took from the rich and gave it to the poor instead of fighting these criminals who oftentimes are poor already? And when he relayed this to Barbara Gordon, of course, what she responded is that then at that point, you would be a criminal. Again, this to me is a really powerful scene that shows how very different Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon are in terms of their political beliefs, of course, and it's almost a shocker that they get along really, or have in the past, but what we see in this Rebirth story is that they don't really get along all that well, and in issue 3 at the end of it, they get in a fight because of the differences that they have in ideology. Now, keep in mind, Barbara Gordon is the daughter of a police commissioner, so talking about stealing and why that's a good thing and why we should all advocate for it is not the thing to talk about to the daughter of the police commissioner of Gotham, which is one of the worst cities in the world to live in regards to crime and that sort of thing. But anyhow, Dick Grayson in this issue talks about that in the last several years, he has been working within the gray area being moral ambiguity, which really ties into the motif of the Robin Hood thing, which we do see actually an Easter egg for in this issue, where Robin Hood, of course, is morally ambiguous. He is a thief, he is a criminal, but is he doing the right thing? Is he doing it for all of the right reasons? He definitely has good intent. And that is what Dick Grayson has felt that he has been the last several years. But in this issue, he very promptly makes a distinct change. And in this issue, this is why I've said, it really is about Dick Grayson's return to Nightwing and not his return to Bludhaven. It is about Dick Grayson re-embodying the role of the Nightwing, the sole protector of Bludhaven. In this issue, we see him morally realign with the Bat family, and this is particularly the case with Barbara Gordon, and this may be a teaser for their relationship in the future, because in my view, the relationship between Barbara Gordon and Dick Grayson is a really unique thing, because on one front, we all know it exists. We all know it is an iconic comic book relationship. On the same front, we rarely ever see it. It's one of those things, even if you go back to the early 2000s with the Birds of Prey comics, you won't see them as a couple there. In most recent modern adaptations and mainstream media adaptations, for example, Justice League versus Teen Titans, you'll see Dick Grayson dating Starfire. You'll see in the Rebirth series for Batgirl, she's dating somebody else. So really, we've seen both of these characters dating everybody but each other in the last decade plus, and it's one of the most iconic comic book relationships, so I hope that they get back to it. And indeed, when I saw the first page of this issue, I got excited for the chances of that, because it opens up with Damian Wayne and Barbara Gordon. Basically, we see Damian sort of belittling Barbara Gordon about the fact that she got mad at him in issue 3. Keep in mind, she got mad at him because in issue 2, he held her up, so she pretty much, in my view, had a good reason to be mad. Maybe she was a little bit whiny if I'm being objective here, but nonetheless, that is why she got mad at him in issue 3, and then from 4 through 9, we hadn't seen her up to this point. And even then, in this issue, we do not see them interact. That's important to know. But anyway, this issue perfectly establishes Bludhaven for what it is. We get to see some of the beautiful art in this book representing Bludhaven. And basically, Bludhaven is a tourist trap. And whereas the people of Gotham would do anything they can to get out of the city of Gotham, people regularly commute in and out of Bludhaven for its tourist attractions. And we see the mayor basically trying to get some of the PR people to make Bludhaven even more of an attractive place to come, and some very weird slogans to try to do so. And their tourist business is doing well, but it's not doing as well as the mayor wants, so he wants to really push that up a little bit more and get more people into the city that is already crime-ridden. So it appears that maybe Nightwing is appearing at just the right time. Then we see Dick make himself at home in his apartment. In this issue, we see him apply for a volunteer job. So Dick Grayson obviously doesn't really have to worry about money because he gets a stipend from Bruce Wayne, I can only imagine. So he's wanting to do full-time volunteer work for this organization in Bludhaven for children that were victims of domestic violence and that sort of thing. That is his calling in a way in this Rebirth issue, but he still wants to be Nightwing, and we see that later on in his apartment. This is the first time he's ever had a room to himself. He explicitly states that in the Rebirth, or excuse me, in issue number 10, that previously he'd always shared rooms with some very weird people, dwarfs and, stuff like that, on the circus, everything like that. Of course, he was a circus performer. And we do see that teaser of the Robin Hood comic in issue number 3 that he mentioned, which is an important motif, in a way, to what happens at the end of the issue, which I will not spoil here, but there is a line, the one piece of dialogue that he says on the final page is really vindicative of what this book is about, and again, it is Dick Grayson's return to the role of Nightwing, less so than to Bludhaven, which of course is very integral to the story as well. It only takes Dick Grayson 9 minutes of living a normal life in the apartment, reading comic books, watching TV, to get completely, utterly bored, and then sirens start going off, and he gets a little excited. Now, he shouldn't be excited that somebody needs help, of course, but he's excited that he gets to spring into action as the protector of Bludhaven, which he's not yet. It's his first time back, but he's going to try his best. So basically, he goes out, he follows the sirens, and he runs into this gorilla named Gorilla Grimm, who has come to avenge the death of his leader in this issue. But seriously, I don't want to go over the entire issue in the story with you guys, but as I said, you should really pick it up for yourself, because in the final page, it really encapsulates everything that this book is about. And I would highly recommend that you check out this issue of Nightwing number 10, because it once again removes the gray area, and it clearly establishes Nightwing as a good guy again, and not some Robin Hood-esque character that is morally ambiguous in many ways. Okay guys, I hope you'll have enjoyed the video, and if you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one, and if there's any future Rebirth single issues you'd like me to cover in depth, let me know that in the comment section below. My name is Slikk. I'll see you guys in the next one.